Hello everybody, my name is Connie and I'm here with good friend Jacelyn, who has been a surgical assistant at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin for 6 years and is also a mother of 2. But most importantly, she just had the experience of a lifetime in Nicaragua, and I said, Jace, we gotta do it. We gotta do the video and you gotta share your experience with us. So Jacelyn was out there for a week. But first, I would love for you to tell us about your shirt.
All right. Well, this shirt is from Nicaragua. It's the middle pyramid is the Nicaraguan flag, actually. So in the middle, it has the pyramid, and then it has the volcanoes in the middle. So there's 5 volcanoes for the original 5 countries that became Central America. So there's more countries in Central America now, but the 5 originals is what this stands for.
So what was the reason you went out there? You went with work.
I went with work. I worked at Children's Hospital as a surgical assist for 9 years prior to being hired on by the pediatric orthopedic surgeons as a surgical assist. And so now I've been in that position for 6 years. So they asked me if I would be interested in coming and helping, pretty much, doing just about anything I can do to help them in clinic, help them in the operating room, whatever. And they've been asking me to do it for a long time, but my kids were too little. So they're 12 and 9 now. So I thought it was a good time. They were nervous about me going, but I said it was going to be a good thing. So I went for the first time this year, and it was an amazing trip. Absolutely amazing.
What is so different, and a big shout out to our boys, Ethan and Wyatt, Jason's young boys, who are amazing, and in the studio audience so nice and quietly. What was so significant? What was the biggest thing that you took back from the trip coming home?
For me, I think, you hear about how, third world countries are, like they're very poor, they don't have the niceties that we have here. And you hear about that. And so you go into it thinking, oh yeah, I know they don't have everything that we have. I know that they don't have the opportunities and stuff that we have. And you're sad about that. But when you're here and you're living the life that we all live, you can say but until you actually see it and live it, it's something very different. And so for me, the biggest thing for me was just the everyday things that we take for granted, that they don't, such as being able to take if my son breaks his arm, I can take him to the doctor and know that if he needs surgery or implants or what have you, they're gonna fix him and they're gonna do that surgery and I don't have to worry about it. And it's not, all their healthcare systems are a little bit different. So it depends on where you're at. From what I understand, I know a little about it just from the week that I was there. But some systems, the parents have to actually go and buy their own plates and screws and things like that before, and then bring them to the hospital in order to get their extremity fixed.
So do they always have a medical staff nearby and close on hand, and they just don't have access to them?
They have, so where we were in Jinatepe, Nicaragua, which is a city in Nicaragua about an hour or so from Managua, which is the capital. They have a hospital. We worked very closely with 2 orthopedic surgeons from Nicaragua. Their biggest issue, I would say, you can take them to the doctor. The people could take them to the doctor. The problem is finding the equipment and stuff that they need to actually fix them. Yeah. So there's a lot of fractures that go without being fixed kind of appropriately. So only because they don't have it necessarily.
So our kids break an arm, we get it taken care of, we get it fixed, it's done.
Yes.
And we just take it for granted that we have somewhere to go all the time. But what you saw, and you were telling me, just everybody sticks with crutches or wraps up, they don't have that there. They have to stay with that until the medical team is available or until they have the equipment to fix it.
do it. Yep. So tons of people on crutches, walking on broken limbs and, you know, non-unions or fractures that haven't healed correctly. And so they're walking on those for months and months. So, I mean, and that's not every case, but it certainly is a big part of it.
Is this a consistent scheduled time that this team from Children's Hospital comes out every year, that the people in Nicaragua know if something's going on, they can count on this medical team being there then?
Yeah, so this is I work for Children's Hospital, but the team is actually from the Medical College of Wisconsin, which is, I work for the Medical College of Wisconsin, but I'm based out of Children's Hospital. So we have adult orthopedic surgeons that go and pediatric orthopedic surgeons that go, and then our team, which would be me, and there's some nurses, there's some physical therapists that go. They go, Medical College has two, the group goes, which has two trips, one in the spring sometime, usually February, March, and then one in the fall, usually in November. So we'll go again. So this time when we were there, we saw a clinic, we saw patients that will need surgery in November when we go, and then in November we'll see patients that we'll set up for surgery or whatever they need in the spring. And then like that, we have people too that don't need surgery and just need to be looked at again in a year or whatever, and they just know that, okay, in the spring of 2018 we need to go back when they get here.
We really take advantage of what we have here.
Yes,
in,
absolutely.
In America. What did you come back feeling different about certain things? Maybe a little disgust.
Yeah, I did. I just came back very
of the way we just have everything. That's what I meant.
You know, I feel like the biggest thing for me probably is when I look at my family and my kids, you know, I feel like we try not to spoil them. We try not to do all this stuff, and it's really hard to be successful at not doing that here because of everything that all the other kids, their friends and families and whatever have. And so, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Most bathrooms there don't have toilet seats. They don't have toilet paper. You have to carry your own toilet paper with you. You know, those are just such little tiny things that people don't think about.
And you had mentioned the garbage. They don't have the garbage takeout the way that we do here.
No, and I don't know. I'm not sure what they do with the garbage, to be honest with you. There's a lot of garbage all around, kind of, but I don't know. So I don't know if they burn it. I'm not really sure, but it's just a lot of garbage.
Do they give them preventative care ideas or education when the team goes?
Yeah, so we see a lot of kids with CP and things like that, so cerebral palsy. So a lot of like stretchings and things like that, that, you know, once maybe they've had a surgery and then they hook them up with some, that's why we bring a therapist along with us. Okay. So the therapist will kind of see them and talk to them and figure out kind of what they need. And, you know, there is some language barrier too, as far as, I mean, we have people there translating and stuff for us, but even with that, there's a little bit of, you know, you don't really know, you know, for follow-up and things like that, you don't really know. But for the most part, I mean, it certainly is there, and there's other organizations and stuff that help out. I know the United Way is one that helps out with like bracing and things like that for some of these kids that need some like leg braces and stuff.
What an experience, what an amazing experience. So that's your medical hat. Now the mom hat, how did you prepare your family? How does any family live without their mother for a week? How did they survive?
I don't think they thought that they could. It was, well, honestly, I just kind of, when I told them, I just sat them down and said, you know, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this to help the kids
It's a
in
big
this
cause,
country
yeah.
that, you know, you can go to the doctor, you can get medical care, you know, and these, not all of these people can do that. And so I kind of brought it down to their level as, you know, how, you know, you're 9 years old. Wyatt, how would you feel if, you know, you broke your arm and I couldn't
Yeah.
I would feel awful if I couldn't do what I needed to do for you
Yeah.
as a parent. So we did take care of adults and stuff too, but my kid, I brought it down to the
That we had to
to
take
the
care
kids
of
level.
kids how we can.
And I do think that it's important to that I feel like my kids are very proud
Yeah,
that I
they
did
are.
it. And I think that's a very good thing, because I hope that years to come, when they get old enough, they will seek out something like this, because it is a great experience, not only for personally, but just to go and help and feel like you're doing
Yeah.
good. For
Well, you set the
somebody.
example for them to show
Yeah.
there's more than just this household and this family. There's
Right.
more, you know, Jacelyn works full time, takes care of 2 kids. I always say 3 and 4, the husband and dog are always included in every household. But she has a wonderful husband. Shout out to you, Larry. So that's 4 kids, and she does a full-time job on top of that. And, you know, leaving that and seeing the whole bigger picture of things was really cool and really amazing.
Yeah, it does definitely help. And I'd be lying. I mean, I was very nervous. I was nervous to
Yeah.
leave them. And my younger son really struggled with it and was kind of weepy, and he understood, but he said, "But you're my mom."
Why it was like, take care of me, why you going out
Right.
take care of other kids?
Right, exactly. And so he knew, I mean, he when I asked him, he knew it was a good thing to do for other kids, but he still was like, "But you're my mom." So we had a long conversation with the fact that I would never not be his mom. I'm
Right.
always going to be his mom, but that he probably could share me for a week.
Once a mom, forever mom.
So he decided to go ahead and share me for a week, and he actually he did really well. And when I got home, he was like, "Oh, it was great having Dad all by myself."
So what would you say to other moms that had an opportunity to have this chance and to do something big like this and to help other people? What would you tell moms that were a little hesitant? What would you tell them to get them off the fence to go have that experience?
I would say, you know, I too was very nervous about it and worried about my family, worried about traveling without them, worried, you know, what if something did happen to me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge worry, obviously, but I think the experience is so worth it, and the likelihood of something happening really is very slim. And so, you know, something could happen to me tomorrow when I walk out my front door here too. So, you know, I think, and it is such an eye-opening experience to be there and see all these different, and there's, you know, the people in Nicaragua were so thankful and so open, and, you know, they would say hello to you walking down the street, and they were just very, very thankful for it. And I think, and I also think not only was it a great experience for me, I think it was a great experience for my husband, to be a dad for a week by himself. And I'll be the first to admit that would be very hard. I really appreciate the fact that he was okay with me going and taking this opportunity, but I think that it allowed all of us to grow as a family. I grew by what I saw and did in Nicaragua, but they grew by what they realized they could do without me here, you know? And so I think for all of them, it was a really good experience. Everybody, all the way around.
It's really cool. And you have some fun things that you brought back.
I do. I brought some stuff for the kids, of course, because I can't not get them something. So that's a little like clay.
Flash on battery.
Yes, this is just a clay whistle bird thing that says Nicaragua that they do.
She came home with a new talent. Cheers to my
Yeah, my
Jacelyn.
kids love them. And then I just brought back some Nicaraguan money, which is
It's pretty money.
pretty cool.
It's very
Yeah.
pretty.
for my kids, you know, just so that they could kind of see the difference and stuff.
It's very different from our American
All colored and like
American
kind
money.
of plasticky
Yeah,
almost.
it's beautiful, and nothing is the same. Like our $10 bills are all the same. Nothing's the same.
Right.
with theirs.
This is yeah. So 30 Cordobas, which is what this is about $3. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
Well, Jacelyn, thank you for sharing your amazing experience with
You're
us.
welcome.
Cheers to being moms and taking the opportunity that you did and saving the children one
Thank
child
you.
at a time. Salud, mom. Salud.